It's such a pleasure to connect with you, Achyutan, on this platform specifically. I guess without being on such a platform, we've always connected on shared values, although we've been
Yeah,
on and off in touch. So, welcome to this show. Before I begin, I would want you to introduce yourself a bit for our audience.
yeah. Hi. So I'm Achu. I uh, I know Bunty since many years now. We both in the same field of advertising. We're both copywriters.
Hmm.
So I guess we have sinned enough in this lifetime. So
Yeah,
I worked in pretty good agencies. I've been on my own. I've been on my own now for the last 8 9 years.
yeah.
And yeah, that's it. I mean, I whatever creative work one can do, one does in the day, and hopefully that sort of keeps me going.
Yeah. That is a wonderful introduction because when I was thinking today, okay, if I'm going to talk to Achyutan, what am I going to ask him really? So the what is the first question that I should ask, which is kind of our connecting thing? So two questions came in mind, but I'll start with the first one, which is a generic question. So of late, I've seen you on social media share some stuff, sometimes some kind of art, some kind of. I know your background with some kind of learning of martial arts when we last met a couple of years back once, just like by chance. Uh, then other things that I see that you help people who are working on social causes. We share similar interests over certain things. In this whole uh, environment called Achyutan, different facets of the environment called Achyutan. How do you see yourself? Who is Achyutan to you?
Actually, most times I feel a little lost. Yeah, really, I don't know what I'm doing. I have no direction. Generally, I don't have. I used to have a bit of direction once upon a time. Over time, I figured you can keep having whatever direction you want to have in life. Some people are not meant to have direction. Some people are just meant to do what comes. I more or less fall into that zone. So I do things which come to me like I want to do this, so I'll do it. But you know, I really envy people who are very focused. They've made their careers, or they've done businesses, or they're very focused. I most days I'm defocused. I enjoy not doing anything.
Yeah,
Relax, look out of the window, no agenda. But there is an agenda. It's not like, of course, you got to put food on the table. You got to. There is a thing about what to do with one's life that does worry me a bit sometimes, or most times. But so I don't have an agenda. ठीक है, हुआ हुआ नहीं हुआ. There is, some. I even earlier I used to wonder, maybe as I grow older and become 60, maybe 70, I don't know. Would it drag? The days, right? And you wonder and look back because there's nothing really to look forward to in that way. And whether it will. Whether I'll feel depressed about all. तो अभी तो गुड थिंग है, बहुत सारा डिप्रेशन तो अभी खत्म हो गया, बहुत हो चुका है डिप्रेशन. तो क्या करें अभी? You know the drill, yeah.
I
But
know.
it's like the day you decide that you want to be something in creative, only doubt, you live with doubt most of the time.
Yeah,
And then to finally accept that ठीक है, ये मेरा creativity है, ये मैं कर सकता हूँ, इतना मैं लिख के देता हूँ क्लाइंट को या खुद के लिए, बस हो गया. उससे ज्यादा नहीं है ठीक है यार, ओके. ओके. अदरवाइज क्या हो गया है कि the conditioning has gone so strong of anxiety depression cycles over the years, and then one looks back and tries to analyze it. It goes far much in the past, way back into school, and maybe some people were born this way. People like me, maybe, I don't know, for whatever reason, hormonally or whatever, you have anxiety, depression cycles, and that is both it's a curse, of course, most of the days, but it's also a boon in a way that it sort of makes you question a lot of things in life at every stage. And that really helped me, Bunty, in the sense that, I mean, most people just accept the 9 to 5 routine and ye karna hai, do bacche paida karna hai, ye ho gaya. Everybody is working towards retirement there. That's what I figured. People are working towards security, people are working towards mauj karna hai, masti karna hai. Good, no problem. But sometimes you question what you're doing, how you're doing it. Maybe I am wrong. I feel most times I'm wrong, but at least this depression, anxiety cycles and all help me over the years to question things. Maybe more empathy, where mein bahut empathy hai, which is a good thing. Empaths usually, they get sucked into things, and I do get sucked into other people's problems. But I have found that because I have this empathetic outlook to life and people around me, I have found people in my life who are equally empathetic about me as a person. Not they may not be empathetic about the world in general, but yeah, Achu is special consideration, and so people learn to tolerate me, and so that's a good thing. So yeah, I would say I'm pretty much lost most of the time, Bunty, and I've learned to live with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I really so one of the questions that I have always asked for many years is what's my dharma? Okay, so my idea of dharma or my definition of dharma, as I have learned to understand it, is nothing to do with right or wrong, but to be true to oneself. What is my nature, right? And I envy people who are become doctors and they become carpenters and they become proper advertising people or marketing people or finance guys, or I really envy them, or cameramen, because unka ek dharma, they let their genes and hormones and their thinking and their conditioning just let them sort of mold them into what they are, and that's what they do, and they do it well, and it doesn't bother them every day in the morning and get up and say, oh, what am I doing, who am I? With me, oh god.
Yeah,
I don't
I
know.
want you to pause here because this is an interesting question that has popped up. You anyway made me forget my earlier question that I had in my mind. But this is a very
Sorry.
interesting point. No, not at all.
As you can see, Bunty, I am a rambler, right?
Yeah,
So
not a
mind
problem.
doesn't stay in
No,
a
I
spot.
like
It has this
ramblers.
chain of thought that keeps. I don't know. It's good or bad. I think it's bad, but
For the podcast, it is
it's
good.
okay. So go
Uh,
ahead, Bunty.
yeah, so before I ask you that question, I want to put it on record for my audience. My not only is my friendship with Achu many years old, it is also on the basis of a kindness that he did to me. I don't know if he remembers also. He was doing something with web designing or something. He ran some company that had something to do with web design, and I was going abroad for the first time. And I needed help. I didn't have too much money. He didn't even bother. He didn't know me from Adam. He just said, "Yeah, let's do it. You go and you do well for yourself. We'll figure out some way. Aata hai re, tension mat le." And not only did he do the website, he gave me a lot of confidence to go and be a good failure as I was in that trip.
You're kind.
But it was no. In fact, you were kind. And this morning when I was thinking about it, how we became friends, it just was natural. And I like the reason I stopped you because you've thrown a lot of thought bombs in that longish answer, and I wanted you to stop at every juncture. So I'll ask them one by one at least, if I remember.
Okay.
So the first question I want to bring to the surface, this is something I had a talk with a very close relative of mine a couple of days back. That person is very, very influenced by what I say. And not only does he pick it up seriously, he also tries to implement it in his life, which is far better than what I do for my own gyan most of the time. So And on that particular day, we were talking about business, and he said something on the lines of, I wish I was like the others, almost similar to what you were saying. Like they don't mind conning people, but getting the money in and doing a greater business out of that whole equation. He just honestly will tell the person, his client, okay, this is what it is, this is what I am able to give. And I think you shouldn't take this part, you should take this part. And I'm like, so, and this has been going on for many years. And the other day I stopped him. I just asked him a question. I said, on one hand, you're taking a decision to do the right thing according to you. And on the other hand, you're ruining the fact that the other guy is successful and you are good for nothing. Why are you coloring it with this kind of judgment? I'm not saying go and be proud or make your collar tight that you are doing the right thing, but at least give the give your effort its due. It's not easy to be honest in a business like yours or where everybody around you. And I've seen that guy suffer for a couple of years. I think his competitor was undercutting, doing all kinds of things, and he used to suffer because he couldn't do it.
True.
And so when you were talking, so my question is very pointed here. You said it has helped you become an empath. I will for now not get into the other friends who treat you with similar respect and handle you with more care because they think you deserve it. We will not get into that as of right now because that seems like idhar kiya to udhar mila. I don't want to connect that as of right now. But my question is, you for yourself, when you stood up, say for example, you have this anxiety, depression cycle or whatever heavy words that we use these days. I think when we were in school, I don't think anybody knew anything. We were all equally lost and equally stupid, and we laughed at ourselves and conned the teacher and ate one bloody bite of imli during class. That was the high in life. There was no big deal about
Absolutely.
anything. You could lie to your parents, get thrashed when you got caught. All of these things were seen as normal things. There was nothing extraordinary about what we were doing.
No,
And we were
absolutely. It's
happy
very
in
average.
the, yeah. So today, what you're really giving, when you talk about such a big word called empath, I want to break it down so a lot of people who may not know the word or not know the implication, it is just feeling somebody else's pain and being there with them in a manner which where it matters. You may not give them money, you may not say the right things, you may not even have any wherewithal to help them. You will just stand with them and say, I am in your pain. Uh, right? So why is that not enough to Achyutan? Isn't it such a big deal? Because the other person is also going through something really deep. उसके साथ खड़ा रहना is enough, ना? No?
No, yeah. ऐसा लगता है ना, I should have all the money in the world to just distribute and
I want to be your
give
friend.
as much, give as much as you can. Whatever money I get, most of the times I just it doesn't stay. अगर मैं थोड़ा भी बैलेंस हो जाता है, कुछ हो जाता है, कोई मांग लेता है, कुछ करता है, ले लो, I don't fight with auto rickshaw guys, I don't fight with bikes, I don't fight with vegetable guys, I don't negotiate.
Yes.
I don't negotiate even with corporates.
Yeah.
I don't tend to do that. Maybe once or twice. The people I mean, one or two companies maybe I would go, but even with 90% of the corporates, if somebody is charging me something else, it pays for somebody's family, and it's not about lower class, middle class, upper class. Everybody has issues there. Upper class वाले लोग का भी issue ही है, and even for upper class people, money is an issue. उसका yacht नहीं चल रहा है, उसका Mercedes नहीं चला, बेचा है. मेरे को ऐसा ही लगता है.
I want you to pause. Again, I want you to pause. There is an interesting thing I want to bring up. There is a poem we used to have in school. It was about this man. They find this plate that would turn into gold if that guy was the most honest or the best guy in the world or something like that. This guy comes out and everybody tries their hands, the king, the priest and everyone in that area. And there is this guy who doesn't know anything about this contest. He comes there and outside there is a line of beggars because everybody is trying to give them a lot of money. So beggars are having a field day. So this guy doesn't know anything and he sees somebody, he doesn't have money, he's come from a village and he just feels the pain of this guy. He just sits with him and just gives him a hug and says, it's all right. What can be done? And then he goes inside and they give him the plate and the plate turns to gold. Uh, I really want you to pause and go back to the answer. And do you want to rephrase your answer? Because you said it's not enough. I think isn't a good heart the most important thing? Because I know of enough people who have done a lot of dana. Trust me, sometimes money is not the only thing that is needed. Just being there is a very, very important aspect. Okay, let's take the example of this anxiety, depression thing, which is so common now that it breaks our heart to see other people. But I'm sure knowing you, even in your worst cycle, you would go out and help somebody else because you would think मेरा तो problem है सही ले यार इतना बड़ा नहीं है. I know because that's what मैं but उसको जरूरत है मेरा मैं जाएगा अभी मेरा देख लेगा मैं मेरा problem I'll sort out someday.
So what happens is,
Yeah.
sorry, you see.
No, this is the question. Why is it not
Yeah.
enough? I want you to.
No,
mull
it's
over
not
this.
enough because I tell you what, there are two things to this, Monty. One is feeling empathetic towards everybody, and therefore that sort of overrides in your head. Okay. And the other thing is your own conditioning, your need, your sense of fulfillment. And it is a log jam. It is working at cross purposes. I'll be very honest. I mean, I am not even half the person I think I can be, or I should be, or I want to be. Half भी नहीं, 10% भी नहीं है. मतलब literally. So there's always this dichotomy that's happening in the head, and that's confusing. So you don't. I know you don't go full out. 100%. चलो जाओ दे दो या कुछ करो. Either way, either you go give yours of yourself this way or the other. Most times I just feel confused.